But speaking of lesser names, we will come to our main event of the evening, and this won't take long, folks. I said Adam Page versus Adam Cole for the world title, the AEW World Championship. And we've been talking for weeks about does anybody, even Adam Page, believe that he's really the world champion? Because he sounds like he's trying to talk himself into it. This ass-backward, long, drawn-out drama morality play that he did with Twinkle Toes and their tag team and his circuitous route to the world championship, he finally starts getting his wins after he wins the world title. And then they expect Adam Cole to be a challenger to him when they bring Adam Cole into great fanfare and then spend the next, 4 to 6 weeks now, beating Adam Cole with underneath talent and involving him with job guys. They reunite the Undisputed Era and have him working with the Puddin' Gang. Adam Cole, his highest profile match has been being beaten by the company mascot with an actual hug. A fake hug. Not even a hug that he couldn't get out of, but an obviously fake hug. And now they expect Cole and Page to draw as a world title match. So, they have a 6-man. And God damn it, can we just get that fucking sock-faced wearing idiot to just say 6-man tag instead of this trios match? This isn't Guadalajara. It's not a trios match. It's a 6-man tag. If you can make it sound any less violent, why don't we call it a romper room match or a tea party match? Jesus Christ. They come up with these fucking phrases, and every time they could make a goddamn shark-infested death pit of razors sound like a box of fluffy ducks. Anyway, so I'm thinking it's Cole and it's Fish and it's O'Reilly against Adam Page, Little Brutus, and another Dork Order fellow. And I'm okay, it's obvious what they're going to do here. They'll try to get some interest in Cole versus Page last minute. Adam Cole will beat the reigning champion, Adam Page, 1, 2, 3, in a 6-man tag here and lend some interest to their match in a couple of days. So I'm not going to watch the Dork Order on purpose or willingly, so I skip to the finish to see them do this. Guess what happened, Brian? Well, you know what happened. You watched it. Adam Cole beat one of the dork jobbers. The world champion got kicked. Adam Page got kicked or struck in some fashion and just fell backwards and tagged one of the jobbers and rolled out of the ring. And Adam Cole hit the job guy with 2 or 3 different things and pinned him 1, 2, 3. And it was a 6-man tag. And Adam Cole and the job guy were the only wrestlers on either team that was even in the ring. They were all laying around the ring, staying out of the way until their next part was called for. So, the world champion, I will reiterate, takes a bump and tags out and rolls out on the floor, and he's done from this one shot. He's done for the rest of the match. Adam Cole beats the fucking job guy, which accomplishes nothing. And then the heels start getting heat afterwards. They're all fine now. They jump in the ring now and start getting heat. And Page is fine because he jumps in to try to stop it. And he makes a little comeback, but the heels get him, and the dork jobbers are dispersed wherever, and they get duct tape Page to the ropes, his hands spread out. And this is not the Rage in the Cage in Knoxville, where we sent Bob Armstrong to the hospital, where we put him out in the exact same position on the cage, and nobody could get in the locked cage, and there were people trying to climb the cage. And we were fucking knocking him off the goddamn deal, and the bell was ringing, and I'm beating on Bob Armstrong while he's crucified. No, they duct taped Adam Page to the ropes, both hands. Well, the referee stood on the floor and said, "Y'all boys don't do that now." And there was no bell ringing, and there was no security to come out, And there were no baby faces or any friends of the champion that tried to help. And the heels beat up the job guys, forcing Adam Page to... It was like they stole the scene in the John Wayne movie, but they didn't understand why it meant something. When you fucking tie Randy Savage in the ropes and he has to watch while fucking Rick Rude makes out with Miss Elizabeth. Or you fucking tie the babyface in the ropes and you have to watch while the heels beat up his son or his girlfriend. But no, they tape Adam Page to the ropes. They beat two of these job guys up that nobody gives a shit about, that's in the dork order. You can't even call their fucking name, while Adam Page is immobile, and then super kick him a time or two while he's immobile, with no bell ringing and no security and nobody trying to help, and nobody ever did come, at least until my DVR froze, because they always almost run down to the end of the show because they can't manage their time. So a phony sports entertainment style angle on the same show as the textbook definition of how to get interest in a wrestling match that CM Punk and MJF did earlier. And they didn't even bring out the fucking security guards again that we already know are in the building. It's the world, and then it's Bizarro World. You're looking at the moon, and then by the end of the show, they take you around to the dark side. And everybody involved in this one is certainly in the dark.
Well, it's no surprise. Dark Order, Adam Page, Adam Cole, Redragon, Young Bucks. As soon as it involves that Young Bucks clique, it's going to be silly. You're going to have to put up with bad acting, and you're going to have to put up with all this. And I have no interest in any of their matches for the pay-per-view.
Show.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem.
They didn't treat the same exact set of circumstances. Well, one of the problems is they had the same exact set of circumstances twice on the show, and this angle did nothing for anything. Nobody gives a fuck about Adam Page versus Adam Cole because of the way they've both been presented, and they give less of a fuck out of it now because this did nothing. What this did do was diminish the good angle with the real main event that was done earlier in the program, and also call people's attention to, well, wait a minute. They had the same set of circumstances an hour ago, and they treated it completely differently. But now they don't do any of those things they did before. It's the same shit happening. Well, this must be phony. You think? Closing thoughts, Brian.
That kind of summed up all my thoughts. I look at MJF and Punk and the tone of it, and I wish that there was a promotion that from the moment the show started until the moment it ended, treated wrestling like that. There's no reason that there can't be. There's no good reason that there shouldn't be, other than you actually need someone to do it. But when you see it on this show and then you see all the other stuff, it stands out even more. Yeah. That's all I want. Give me Mid-South 2022.
And again, that's why I have been uncomplimentary of Tony Khan and completely dismissive of the fucking idiots that he went into business with, because this is what it could have been. And this is what we were promised. But he didn't have the ability to pick the talent roster or the balls to stand up to the ones he did pick or the experience to perpetrate a serious promotion. So instead we get kids playing with kids and the little rich kid playing with his live action figures. And that's why I've been especially offended. If it was somebody else say, oh, we're going to do this sports entertainment like Vince does. Well, I wouldn't give a shit. I don't want to see that, and I don't want to see any more of it. But when somebody says, hey, we're going to do a wrestling promotion and sports-based presentation and do something different than all this sports entertainment horse shit, and then that was the problem. And that's, again, as I've said from the start, why I knew that there was no sense being involved in this. Because the people that he picked to go into business with are not capable or talented enough of doing this the proper way. So they have created their own way where they get over, but it makes the wrestling business and everybody else in it look like shit. And that's Twinkle Toes and more specifically, the Hardley Boys. And I knew they couldn't play it straight, and I knew that this kind of shit would happen. And I've been saying it since the start, since before they went on television. I even said, prove me wrong if you can. And they didn't prove me wrong because they can't. And now that Tony, through serendipitous means, has gone out and actually been able to sign real legitimate talent that are blowing these fucking trampoline cowboys away, it still has to be drugged down because they still have power. He still doesn't realize that they fucking sent him down the wrong path. He still thinks there's something to these clowns, and he still allows them to go out there and muck up a large portion of the show. So that's why I'm offended. It would be the same if I was a musician, a former professional musician, and music, well, I guess it has been really fucking gone to shit over the last number of years. If I'm a former professional musician and somebody with $1 billion says, hey, we're going to bring music back. No more of this rap bullshit. All these fucking clowns making a sound like a cat is being disemboweled in the garage. We're going to play rock and roll music. We're going to have fun. Hey, I'd like to be on board. Oh, but shit, we got Kanye and iced tea and iced coffee and iced crackers and all the rest of the ices, and all the rappers are going to sing these songs. Well, fuck you. Why'd you lead me on? I know what it's going to sound like now. Same thing.